everybody. It's Dave here from Vikings First and SKOL, and we are live at the 2-minute warnings. And who would have predicted a game like this? Not me. Oh, wow. What a freaking game. What a game, what a game, what a game. And since we're at 2-minute warning, I'm going to hit the roll in. Welcome to Vikings First and SKOL's live at the 2-minute warning. Next. And here we go. It's just me on the screen right now. We're going to have a whole gang joining us here momentarily. I am streaming, so I am slightly behind some of the folks that are watching. I do know that. I don't want to be behind, but you live with what you got. So I want to welcome everybody that's joined us so far. We have the lovely and beautiful Miss Mary. We have Steven from Down Under. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Jim, NFL 7, thank you for joining us as well. And Delton, good to see you. Top 10 defense would be able to hold them right here. We'll see. Let's hope that defense can do just that. I'm still in commercial. Don't know about you guys, but we will see how that goes. I'm glad everybody's here to join us. This game, this team makes me drink. I can't tell you how much. This is absolutely crazy. If it wasn't for those early turnovers, we could probably breathe a little bit better, but not right now. Hello, Dalton. Let's go defense. Absolutely go defense, go defense, go defense. We have a Dalton and a Delton in the house. Both of you are very, very welcome. And we are in the commercial break. Wow, what a game. What a game. Yes, and as my buddy Darren, who's supposed to be joining us since we're not having two old bloggers today, says every game comes down to the last drive, doesn't it? It's hard to take as a fan. Well, yeah, that's why the cardiologists in the Minneapolis area, I'm sure, do a bang-up business. Yes, we'd be up a lot more if Mullens didn't throw those picks. I agree with you wholeheartedly. As Mary says, come on, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, I'm looking, and I'm showing a snap. Browning drops back, guns it. Caught. Damn it. As they move forward, I've got a minute 45 and counting down on the clock. On my fastest stream, that is. Come on, defense. Can't believe that they're in our territory already. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Browning drops back, throws a screen, of course, to the right, and it is good for about 7 yards. All right, here we go. Here we go. Clock is counting down, minute 15, 14, etc., etc. They're showing some people in the stands, and then Browning yelling at his players. Let's go. The clock keeps tick, 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 ticking. Mary says 3rd and 3. I'm showing 2nd and 3. Browning throws an air ball basically out of bounds. 3rd and 3. Thank you, Mary. You rock. Dalton says 101. I'm down to 56 seconds. And clock is stopped. That's right. Clock is stopped as they try to gather up. Why do we keep going to the crowd shot? It's not like a certain singer is up there. All right, all right, all right. As we look, Browning back, heaves it up. No, wrong stream. I've got 4 streams going, and they're all behind, so I will stick with my fastest one, which shows 56 seconds left. And here we go. Snap. Browning looks left for the screen to left. Screen's left. And they pick up the first down. Damn it. Can we not do this, please? Yes, can we not do this, please? All right, here we go. Tickety-tock, tickety-tock. The clock is stopped. 50 seconds left. 1st and 10. I hope you all have enjoyed your afternoon and the start to this game. There are 7, 8 guys on the line of scrimmage. Everybody drops back except 4. No, I'm still looking at the old one. Never mind. Disregard. Looking at the wrong spot. I'm too used to looking at my TV. Here we go. 7 guys on the line. Boom! And we get it knocked down by Harrison Smith. Yeah, buddy. The hitman gets in there for a pass deflection. Gets his hand up on the rush. And the clock is stopped again with 48 seconds left. Ooh, that only took 2 seconds. Yeah, right, timekeeper. Sure. Okay, Brian Flores, keep earning your money. Build that reputation. Let's go. And as I'm watching, they're getting ready to snap the ball. Browning's in shotgun. We go 4, 3, snap. Browning looks, getting chased. Throws an air ball up to the right, and it's caught. You gotta be shitting me. For a touchdown, no less, with the reach by T. Higgins. No. Oh, my. Oh, that is BS. We'll see this on the replay. How does this work out to be a touchdown? He caught it in front of the goal line. He's held up at the 1.5. He reaches back. It goes over the pylon. Wow. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. And as Mary says, the game is now tied. Hey, we may be going to get overtime. What the heck? Oh, wow. This is crazy. Another crazy game. Yes. I've got 39 seconds left on the clock. And they bring in the kicker. That shows you how far behind I am. And boom, it's good. Wow. Typical Vikings, James. Yeah, it has been under these guys, without a doubt. Oh, I need to put out the tweet. Sorry, guys. I forgot. We haven't put out the tweet yet. I'd like to know where everybody's at because I could use some help and a breather here. Let's go. 3 timeouts in 39 seconds. You got that right, buddy. You got that right. Let it be so, please. Let it be so. Here we go. Here we go. Still showing the replays. Come on. Kick the ball off. Let's see how this goes. I'm messing with my screens. I don't want some dead air. But let's go. Jordan Addison, deep over the middle. Okay, need a big drive. Yes, we do. Big drive, a field goal wins it. You got that right. You got that right. Field goal wins it. With Greg Joseph. You made me laugh. But he hasn't lost this game yet. We shall see. We shall see. Here we go. Here we go. Mark, being a Vike is never easy. You're 100% correct. Mary, why every game? I think it's to help 1, cardiologist, and 2, alcohol vendors, because it definitely does that. Definitely does that. All right. Come on, offense. Let's go. 39 seconds left. Let's drive from the 25, get into field goal range, and we're there. Please. May the Norse gods and the football gods unite on this one. We shall see. Mullens drops back, gets pressured, and sacked. Go figure. Loss of 7. You gotta be. All right. Frustrating. He had time. He's just moving around and figured he'd fix a sandwich or something. Anyways, oh well. He got around Darrisaw. The pass rusher did, that is. All right, 33 seconds left. 2nd and 18. Let's see how this goes. Come on. You don't need to show the Bengals defender. I don't care about him. I want purple. And let's go. Come on. As the clock ticks down. Ball is snapped. Mullens shovels back, dishes it off to Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler wiggles up and gets about 5 yards. Clock is stopped at 26 seconds. Yes, Mary, we all are getting that way. It ages us. Now, if, Mark, you talk about taking a shot, if they could get in field goal range, that's all they need. And they've got to give it a shot. Yes, we know the playoff picture. Thank you, NFL Network. I know you're doing it for the rest of the NFL audience, but we're Vikings fans. We know it. It's ingrained in us. Let's see how this goes. 26 seconds left. Ball is snapped. Mullens looking. He's got people open. I could see him. He decides to run. Keep the clock moving. He's now up to the 28-yard line. 4th down. 4th and 8. Yeah. They're going to play for overtime, people. Overtime. Yes. That's what we're looking at. All right. Here we go. Heavy sigh. I know all you guys are feeling the same way. All right. Here comes Mr. Right. Who should still be wearing the number 66, in my opinion. He looks like a guard, should wear a guard's number. All right. How do you think this punt's going to go? Is he going to shank it? Or is he going to hit a pure clean one? We'll find out. And the ball snap. Right steps into it. Bam. It's airborne. A little bit short. Bounces. It's a muff. Oh, no. And the Vikings get him down at the 20. 10 seconds left. Player hurt. Flag on the ball. Najee Thompson pointing at something. I think Najee Thompson may have been called. We'll find out. Bengals player down on the ground. Still, you hate to see that. We'll find out what happens. Jonathan, welcome to the show, my friend. Why do they always do this? That's been asked numerous times, and it's because I think they have kickback deals from alcohol vendors and cardiologists in the area. It's the only way I can think of, because they always want to make it close. Let's see. Let's look. Najee Thompson there. Well, that doesn't look like much of a hit. And he pushed. I don't know if that's a penalty. The gunner into the punter, or into the punt catcher, the returner, who called a fair catch. He maybe couldn't have seen it, but we'll see. Well, the returner, number 15, is up and walking off on his own accord, which is good to see. Yeah, Mary agrees with you, Jonathan. Mark laughing, yes. We shall see. I do not have the volume on, so I don't know what Gene Steratore is saying. Can anybody relate to me? Is he calling that a interference, punt interference? No, they're starting at the 20. Kneeled it down. We're going to overtime. Yes, baby, we are going to overtime. All right. You get bonus live at the 2-minute warning with some overtime. So it obviously was not interference on the fair catch. That's good. Learned something. Yes, Dalton, if we get the ball and then score 7, that would be sweet, but don't. You know our luck. You know our luck. This is crazy, 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 crazy. All right, where is my crew? I could use them. I need a spell. I need to go step away for a minute, and I don't want to do that alone. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry if you're hearing my keyboard clatter. All right. All right. Roger D'Artes, welcome to the show, my friend. Mullens is out of his element. It hasn't been as pretty as we want. And we talk about the turnover battle. When we win the turnover battles, we win. When we're -2, -2 is the port of demarcation, it gets iffy. -3, we lose. Well, we got it back up to -1 overall, but he's had us worrying the whole game. So we shall see as we roll into this. All right, here we go. That's commercials. Oh, like I told you, I got 4 different streams going. Commercials are different on all 4, which is crazy. Jonathan says, at least we scored more than 20 points. Yes, that is the case. Mary, you're 100% correct. This shouldn't be happening. We should have won this game already. I agree. Oh, come on, commercials. I know, NFL Network, this is how you make your money. But we want football. Now, I asked a bunch of questions in this run up to this game, and I'm curious how some of them have turned out already. I got to look. Let's see. Looking at this, let's look at the box score real quick. All right. So far, Nick Mullens is 24 for 31, 283 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 interceptions. Ty Chandler, 22 carries for 131 yards and 1 TD, almost 2. Jordan Addison with 6 receptions, 111 yards for the young man. It's good to see him back and producing again. And Justin Jefferson was 7 for 84. And Jordan Addison, 2 TDs for himself, not doing bad. TJ Hawkinson with 4 catches and 43 yards. I thought TJ would have a better day or be targeted more. And that hasn't happened yet. Daniel says he has the same sweatshirt and killed a 12-pack of Northeast this game. Daniel, cheers to you, my friend. And, it's truth. All right, here we go. Boom. All right. Now, how in the world did that happen? My TV above is in sync with my computer stream. Should not be the case. Oh, back to the phone. The phone's the quicker feed now. I love how the feeds change over the games. All right, Browning drops back, rolls left, almost gets sacked, runs out of bounds for a gain of about 1. Almost got sacked by DJ Wanham. Oh, count as a pressure. Oh, I'm hearing sacked by Mary. Miss Mary, you can... why don't you join? You can do play-by-play. You're ahead of everybody. Let's see how this goes. You're ahead of me, at least. Addison saved a few drives today. Yes, he had a very good game so far. I agree, 100%. Very good game. And if we pull out the win, give him a game ball. If we pull out the win, we need to be able to do that. We'll find out. All right. There's the sack done by Bullard. Good. He's back in the game. Good to see. Outstanding. That was that sack. Watching it on the replay, people, I'm not that far behind. We shall see what happens. I'm seeing it's 4th and 18th on the box score. Oh, almost another sack there on the phone stream. Throws deep, incomplete. All right. That had been the third down. No, now it's on 3rd and 18 on that stream. 4th and 18 on my phone. Wow, it's weird how these things get out of whack. Done and out. Thank you, Mary. You rock. Absolutely rock. Another one down. All right. They've showed a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids at today's game, and that's a good thing. We all like when kids are at the game and get inspired and become football fans and go through the same year after year frustration that we do. Don't we? Mary says, field goal, please. I agree, Mary. And if you're thinking, I didn't come prepared, how about 1.5 liters of Herman Marshall? Sweet Texas bourbon. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, baby. Wonderful thing. All right. Is it too late to urinate, unretire Tom Brady? Jonathan, that's a great question. I doubt he's willing to come back. However, there was rumor that there was at least a tweet or a text made. Roger says, cool, no call. Dalton, now we need to get a field goal to win. Yes. Daniel Taylor, welcome. Prost, brother. SKOL. Haha, let's go. Mary, 1st and 10. Mary, you are a wonderful lady. And thank you for that update. Thank you for that update. All right. Let's get back to play calling. If I got a stream that's actually up to speed, I'm showing 1st and 10. Mullens drops back, throws, and gets a first. I don't know. So I may not. I may be behind. 2nd and 8. All right. Thank you, Mary. We'll see how this goes. There's Hawkinson with another catch. The most catches by a tight end so far this season, which is good for him. You are. I am. So let's see. All right. Even my TV's faster than my computer now. What the heck? And I know it's behind. Sorry, guys. I wish I could give you play-by-play like when it's live and I get it over the air, but that's not the case. Okay, what just happened on the gameplay? Come on. 3rd and 1. Thank you, Mary. 3rd and 1. I'm just watching the play now. Mullens heaves it over to TJ Hawkinson once again, and he comes up a yard shy. Okay. Cool. All right. We're driving down. We're inside their territory, which is good. Still want to get another 20 yards to make Joseph happy, for the field goal attempt. Hey, Doc, how you doing, buddy? Glad you could join the show. Hopefully you're holding up better than most of us. This has been a drinking game. That's right. When we go into overtime after having to lead a few times, Mary says it's 3rd and inches. And I just saw the push. Let's see how that goes. We still need a couple more yards for theoretical field goal attempts. Dalton says it's at the 42. That would make it, 52, 59-yard attempt if he tried it. From what I gather, the weather's good. Very little to no breeze. So we'll find out. This has been a heck of a game. We so do want our team to win today. Let's root for the win. All right. And did they get the first down? It looks like they pushed and got the first down, maybe. We got one referee, line judge, on the front side of the yellow line and the other one behind it. Well, freaking figures. On the push-tush that never works except for if you're a Philadelphia Eagles. Now, right there, he's beyond the yard marker as I'm looking at it on the replay. All right, watching. It would be right about there, which would be close to where his hand went down. They're bringing out the chains. Mary says it's measured at 4th and inches. Yeah, about yay much, according to my replay. Some guys would call that a foot. Women would laugh. We'll find out. Looks to be about 4 inches, 5 inches. 4th and inches. Let's see, what are the Vikings doing? Mullens, his wife, is biting her nails. Everybody in the stands not knowing what exactly is going. Roger Dartis is hand playing today. Yes, I have seen him in there. I've seen him in there lead blocking, as a matter of fact. Let's see. On my stream, as we got it, they're coming up to the line of scrimmage. Umpire backs out. Another tush push, not even close. Damn it. Oh, come on, people. Learn to do that properly. We lost yards and turned the ball over. You got to be shitting me. Yes, that's where you need ham. Or go the old-fashioned style. Do that and bounce somebody over the top. Hand it off and bounce somebody over the top. Or heck, fake that and go to the outside. There are plenty of ways to run that play. Rather than says, hey, this is what we're going to do, guys. Have the defensive lineman line up in a submarine stance and get nothing but push. Got nothing. Boy, now it's up to the defense to get the ball back again. Come on, Brian Flores, defense. You allowed three touchdowns today. Can we stop with that, please? You normally keep it under 17 points. And it's that because defensive linemen look like he pushed Bradbury to the ground and backwards. Tom Bursaw, welcome to the show. And yes, that seemed to me like a stupid, let's read it from the beginning play call. There's other ways to play this game if you look back in history that are effective. This is crazy. Mary, you can't believe this. And the one thing we do not want is a tie. We don't want a tie. I don't want a loss. Tie would probably be better than a loss, but I don't want either. I want to win. Just like all of you do. Hoy. Now the Bengals have it in decent field position. But going for it on 4th was the right call when you have 6 inches. You saved 7 yards on a field goal attempt that was iffy at best. But we'll see. All right. Ball should be put into play right now. Bengals in set. Browning flips his arm, signals something. Gets his ball, hands off, and is stopped. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Come on, Vikings. Go, Vikings. Brother. That is the way it is. And here we go again. Line up, 2nd and 9. Browning back in shotgun, as usual. Snap. Throws it over the middle, incomplete. Should be 3rd and 9. Now I go back to my phone stream, which should be ahead. That's me looking down because I got it down below me. Oh, I'm Browning back, shotgun, as usual. Vikings defense throwing up their arms. Ball snapped. We got a rush. Got some pressure. Browning's on the move to the right. Throws it, and it's caught. You got to be shitting me. In field goal range, and he's going for more yards. Still on his feet, down at the 13. Unbelievable. Bengals at the 12. Yes. Roger, I have no idea what made KOC confidence that Mullens could run that play. It doesn't work. Yes, this is ridiculous. Absolutely freaking ridiculous. Unless there's a turnover, this game should be about over. If I was the Bengals, I'd bring out the field goal team, but they do not. And there's a whistle on 1st and 10. Minnesota called the timeout. Tom says, we're done. Have a good day, folks. Have you seen the field goal, or are you just giving up? Like I said, if I was the coach of the Bengals, I'd get the field goal team out there right now. Screw trying to get yards. You're well within range. If you miss it on the early downs, you get it back. Clifford says they're going to kick right now. Yes, Clifford, the D gave up 21 fourth quarter points, and that cost us. And Roger, frustrated, going to grab a drink. Roger, peace out. I hope you enjoy that beverage. I hope it's a good one. Clifford, sell out. No worries about penalties. Yeah, got it right, Clifford. You're 100%. Pat Cat, welcome to the show. Should have played Dobbs. Give Mullens enough time. Now, should have played Hall. It was my deal, but anyways, that is what it is. And they were rush it, get even closer. Here we go. Mary says, here comes the field goal. And we're waiting. This is crazy that the Vikings lose this one. They had this one. All they had to do was win, and it's done. Your Vikings lose. In overtime. Final score, 27-24. Frustrating. This was a chance, especially if the Kittens lost today, that we could go for the lead in the NFC North. But no, the Vikings had to blow it. Jim says, what a joke. Vikings choke. See you next year. Playoffs hopes are over. Technically, Jim, playoff hopes are not over. There are a boatload of teams at 6 and 7 right behind us. And even if they win, we own the tiebreakers on virtually all of them. So, Mary needs some air. Go step outside on your patio, Mary. Check out the view and tell me how it is when you come back in. All hell's demon, you got that right. We had every single chance and opportunity to win the game. All you got to do is win the game. And they didn't. Stephen Wright, O'Connell, absolutely useless play caller. I don't know about useless, but definitely not what we wanted late. And I'm getting texts from my NFC North buddies. Yay! Hey. Clifford, even if they win, we are still the 6th seed. Yes. So, SAM wants the playoff hopes to be over. He's tired of this team shitting in the bed over and over again. Understand, brother. Understand. Clifford, they will not. They will lose to the Jim's telling Clifford they will lose to the Lions. Who knows? The Lions are doing the Lionsy thing, and they're self-destructing. Their defense is bad, and we'll see. All hell's demon. I will say I saw Nwangu have some pretty good pass blocking. Well, Mary, this one is more painful. What a joke. Vikings choke. Ready for the Twins to win. LOL. Yeah, all right. Keep the QBs and sit KOC. KOC timeout management is worse than his play calling. He kept the defenders square. And I finally have somebody else to join me right now, and I'm going to bring him in. Give me a second to set it up real quick as I bring in Mr. Justin Day of Purple and Gold for Days. And he is in the green room, and he is now joining us. There he is, Justin. I have a question for you, Justin. Before you go off real quick, can you hold down the fort while I
sure.
30 seconds?
I can hold down the fort for as long as you need me to.
All right.
I promise we won't lose any viewership.
All right. Go for it, buddy.
This is your Kevin O'Connell outsmarts himself for the 7th time as a head coach leader. Vikings first and SKOL, live at the 2-minute warning. I am Justin. My channel is Purple and Gold for Days. If you do not sub me, please hit me with a sub. I just need a few more to get to that 1,000 mark. Shout out everybody in the building. We got Miss Mary, Jim, Pat, Cat, Christian, All's Hell's Demon, and a whole cast of thousands. And my, oh my, sure ain't good. The Minnesota Vikings completely blow it again. They blew it like a $2 you-know-what. It's as simple as that. Kevin O'Connell, I get it. As I said on the pregame show on my channel, you're not working with Kirk Cousins, who was arguably a top 5 quarterback this season. But at some point, stop trying to be the smartest mother bleeper in the world. Stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room. You got the ball into overtime. Your defense, you know what? People are going to crap on this defense right now. And you know what? Giving up 21 points in the fourth quarter is not a good look. It's not. But this defense has saved your ass, Kevin O'Connell, multiple times this season. Once in a while, they're not going to be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat. I'm not letting the defense off the hook because they deserve tons of criticism. Go in your backyard at TCO and play what we used to call 500. Okay, it's where one guy says 50 if you catch this, 110 if you catch this, or jackpot, meaning whoever gets to 500 first gets to be the next thrower. Because 3 times at minimum this game, you got your rear ends handed to you defensively on literally jump balls like you're playing 500 in the backyard. And that is what is most disconcerting about this defense. But Kevin O'Connell, you got the ball back in overtime after your defense forced a punt. You have 3rd and inches, 4th and inches. It was a dumbass call the first time to do the brotherly shove, tush push, whichever way you want to call it, with the smallest guy in Brandon Powell being the pusher. It was stupid to do it once. Then you do it again with the same guy? Are you outside of your mind? You had how many injured Bengals go out of this game? Their stud defensive tackle was gone on, was it the first or the second drive of the game? Jamar Chase is out of the game. And it's funny. We were all talking about Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and they got some passes, but it was T. Higgins and Jordan Addison. Shout out Jordan Addison, by the way. with that ridiculous shoestring catch and run for a touchdown. But this is on Kevin O'Connell. And I'm not trying to overreact. The guy is 20 and now 11 as a head coach in his 2+ seasons. But I'm losing faith in him. And Dave, you are muted.
Yeah, I was talking to my camera.
Oh, all right. So I don't know what to make of this team. I don't know what to make of this head coach. He does so many things well, but he does so many little things so stupidly that, seriously, again, it was a dumb play call the first time, and it was even dumber the second time. It was the right decision to go for it and not kick it. So anybody say, oh, we should have kicked a 59. I'm not trusting Greg Joseph on a 59-yarder outdoors on the road. Hell no. So I'll just say that. No, it was the right decision to go for it.
It was the right decision to go for it. It's the wrong play call.
Twice.
There are ways to do a 4th and inches. We've done it throughout history, right? Whether you throw in a bunch of lead blockers, you have an I, a T, a veer, or whatever, and you smash guys into the line from depth and let the one running back bust through, go over the top, whatever. You do not have to do it with the quarterback who, when the Bradbury gets pushed onto his stomach and shoved backwards, there's no place to go. He has nothing, and it pushes his feet out. Where if he would have taken the snap, turned around and handed off, the running back now has the option to go in over the top, bust it right, bust it left, or you fake that dive towards the middle and do something different. There are plenty of options when everybody and their brother in the NFL right now is doing the tush push. Do something different, please. Especially when the only team that's good at it is the Eagles.
Sometimes you got to zig while everybody else is zagging, so to speak. Again, like you said, have C.J. Ham line up in an offset eye and fake the dive to him and toss power it to Ty Chandler, because everybody in the world is going to be sitting in the middle where Ty Chandler has to outflank one guy on the edge, at minimum getting a first down, and it's in prime position to just bust it wide open. Shout out to Ty Chandler on his great game today too. But all I'm going to say at the end of the day is I'm not going to say that the team deserved to lose, but what I'm saying is this head coach deserved to lose. And Nick Mullens, you saw the full experience today. We haven't talked about him yet, which is what I said. He's a gunslinger. He's going to do some crazy things, and he's going to do some dumb, ridiculous things. Both of those interceptions, particularly the one he's already going onto the ground. What in the world are you thinking? But this team, once again, can't get out of its own way.
Right. I'm going to bring on Tyler here. And I know you're sitting there, Jonas, sitting there watching and shaking your head. Jonas, how was it from Germany?
Well, first of all, I have to say I strongly disagree with you two on those last 2 play calls, because they had the QB sneak successfully multiple times this game. It hadn't failed up until that point. So they've done it already, and they've done it successfully. And at some point, if the Vikings do anything else, if they throw a toss outside, everybody is talking about, oh, Kevin O'Connell got too cute again. Now, it's people, in my opinion, this criticism is just on the result, not on the process, because, again, this play had worked multiple times. This game, like you said,
you can't keep going back and back and back and back to the well before the defense figures out how to stop it. And they did.
It's a quarterback sneak. Everybody knows how to stop it. You just have to win.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion,
that's it.
Yeah, it's not like you're running a dagger concept or you're running play action. If you're running bootlegs, it is beat the hell out of the man in front of you, get low, you win the leverage battle, and leg drive forward. That's
so
it.
You're blaming it on Bradbury because he was the one that got shoved back.
That's exactly my point, because you have the ball like a few inches away from the first down line. You have 2 tries. Just win one. Just at some point, you have to take accountability as a player. Just win one of them. That's not on the coach. Win that fucking play.
I have zero issue with the play call on 3rd down. The only issue I have is that you're using Brandon Powell as the guy to push. That doesn't make sense to me. Yes, the second time, it's like, okay, if you're going to do it again, at least use somebody different between aside from your fourth wide receiver. That is my bigger issue than the actual play call itself. It's okay. You ran it on third. If you want to run it on fourth, sure. I will say that running a quarterback sneak on third down, in the middle of the second quarter is different context and different scenario. But my bigger issue with the point is who you're using to do that there with. That's more where I'm going anyway.
That's the only part of that whole process you can really, as Jonas kind of laid out nicely, it's the only part of the process you can critique, right? Motioning a tiny football player behind your quarterback to be the one to push. One, if you're going to do that, you got to do it with a CJ Ham or a TJ Hawkinson, a big guy who has more muscle, who can get that leg drive and push. If you're going to tell the defense, yeah, we're just going to do this. And the reason why the Eagles are so successful, well, Jalen Hurts can squat 5 of us. Like, he squats 6 Bills. Like, it's just a different scenario. So when you look at all these different factors and different situations, it's incomprehensible to have Powell as that guy. And that's the only part of this you can critique, in my personal opinion. Jonas laid out everything well. You can't critique the process. And that's the biggest thing with Kevin O'Connell, the play caller. He's a very good play caller. The critiques are from the result. You don't like the result, and that's fine. But if you don't understand what the full process is, and if you don't understand what they're trying to accomplish and how they're trying to get there, you can't just critique the result and say he should be fired. Now, if he does the same thing over and over again and all you do is get the same result, then we can have a different conversation. But as an overall construct, we got to remember, Nick Mullens is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Jaron Hall is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. Josh Dobbs is not a starting quarterback in the NFL, and we're still competitive. And the Vikings covered today. It was a 3-point spread. The Vikings covered. Now, that doesn't mean anything in the win-loss column, but Vegas said that the Bengals are 3 points better than you, and they ended up being 3 points better. And you still had a backup quarterback, and you had your right tackle, who's borderline all-pro, out, and you still found a way to be competitive, have a 14-point lead, and be able to take this into overtime and potentially win. You are mad about the result, or not mad about the process, or you don't understand the process.
I also think I even get the thought process behind putting Powell there. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I get the process, because we talked about how this isn't only on about size, but also about leverage. And yes, Brandon Powell is tiny, but he's also very low, so he can push from a low position and maybe get Mullens over the top. That probably was the thinking process. I don't necessarily agree with that process, but I get it. And
wouldn't a better process is to put mass rather than small leverage, no mass? Put mass behind it, and mass starting with CJ Ham or one of the bigger linemen, bringing an extra lineman.
We've also seen it with Hawkinson, and I think also with Oliver this year, and at least the Hawkinson QB sneak, where he tried to push miserably. So they probably tried to go away from the big guy because that wasn't working. So they brought the small guy who might have the leverage advantage. So yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that process, but I get it.
Hey, I want to welcome everybody that's watching, and welcome Darren Campbell, the other half of the 2 old bloggers, to the show. Darren, what were your thoughts?
I'm so fucking mad, Dave.
All right, why? Because we lost, or how we lost?
Yeah.
The process.
Exactly. That was, I don't know. I guess last year, if the Vikings won the way they won on sort of the same date, on the same day, maybe it's fitting in Minnesota Vikings football that they lose that way. Defense is lights out. You're up 17-3. You let Jake Browning, also a backup quarterback, fucking lead 3 straight scoring drives. T. Higgins boxes out Caleb Evans. I mean, that passes the lollipop for somebody to pick off. But Higgins is 6'4", 6'5", and Evans probably was looking at like he was a little bit wondered if he didn't want to get pass interference by making like a strong of a move to try to high point the ball there or whatever. So Higgins gets that. You've all gone over the 3rd and 4th in inches play. I don't like the mass thing. I don't know if it would have helped all that much because the O-line got no push on either of those plays, and Mullens did not have any leg drive, a la just like Kirk Cousins, on either of those plays either. So I don't even know if you got CJ Ham or Blake Brando or whoever pushing there. I think Tyler mentioned it. Jalen Hurts squats
the first
700
one.
pounds.
Yeah.
So he's got the leg drive to make those things work a little bit better than Nick Mullens does. And just another missed opportunity for the Vikings, another infuriating game where you knew even up 17-3, this team for the past 4 years does not know how to put a team away. It always comes down to the last goddamn drive, almost every game, no matter what they do. And another one again. And hey, maybe at the end of the week, we'll still be in wild card playoff position.
Yeah, I don't think the wild card playoff position is changing just because we were in the 6th seed before last week, and then we gained a game on everybody. So I think we're going to stay the 6th seed pretty much no matter what right now. But my biggest thing is, like, if the Vikings had Marcus Davenport in this game, I think they win. And I think that's really weird hindsight, but they were getting pressure and they were getting contained. And I think if they just had a little bit more of a pass rush, somebody who could really be explosive on the outside. Wanham did okay today. I didn't think he was overly great, but I think if you have somebody who played overly great, then you would have been able to take things to a different level. And I will give credit to Jake Browning. Jake Browning was an idiot all game. All of his idiot throws, except for one, paid off in a big way. He just was chucking it up, throwing across his body, and they were all working. Like the Nick Mullens touchdown, I even tweeted about it. Like if like 15 quarterbacks make that throw to Jordan Addison in the end zone, it's still a bad decision, but they get praised for it because, they saw the guy and they trusted their arm. Mullens makes it. He's just an idiot. And he absolutely was an idiot. But I just found that funny. It like the Bengals found a way to win this game. And the problem with playing drop 8 coverage a lot, which the Vikings do, is if you have the right route concept called against it, like that 3rd and 20, which was to Jamar Chase, they ran dagger. You have the inside guy run the go to clear out, and then you have the outside guy Chase run a dig route, and it's almost always going to be open because of how the zones work out, and guys aren't going to get enough depth because they don't see what's actually behind them, and they have to stay forward just in case you get leakers or Browning ends up running the football. So Chase gets open, and like that happens. But if you have a bigger pass rush, that's not going to happen. And not having a guy like Davenport consistently throughout the year, it shows up in moments like this. And it's really frustrating because they should be able to make that happen. They should be able to stop it. But every once in a while, you just get beat by the perfect call. And the Vikings just had a couple too many today. And we weren't going to have that streak of no touchdowns in 11 quarters last forever. But
how about just give up 3 in a row? How about that streak?
Yeah.
Anyway,
not great, but
not really going to complain about this defense after what
overtime. And then the tush push, like not being able to convert one of those. Great process outside of whatever your mileage is. I think Jonas made a good point about Brandon Powell being so small where he can get that kind of leverage, whereas nobody else on the team can. I think that's a very interesting theory. I don't necessarily buy into it, but it's very intriguing. Outside of those 2 tush pushes, if Vikings get one of them, it's first down. Mm-hmm. And my wife called me very upset because she was listening to the call on the radio because she's almost home from work right now. And then the announcers were just yelling how it was a terrible spot. I thought it was fine. It's so hard to call those kind of spots when the ball is really tough to see. But
what I will say is on the 3rd down play, it looked like it was a little short. Oh, go ahead, Darren.
No, if you looked at both replays of both of those, initially when they let the play keep going, you think, Mullens has got it because he twists his body sort of across, but the ball wasn't across. had reached the line to gain on either of those plays. So the
Right.
refs made the right call.
I thought they were good spots.
Yeah.
I thought
I
the
just-
first one was a touch short because he was on top of bodies. Now, again, it's neither here nor there. I thought they were marking stuff short all game long. Like every time I'd see somebody go down, they would be like 3/4 of a yard back from us. Like they're not really giving generous spots today. But having said that, when you're talking about spots on a 3rd and 4th and less than a yard that you didn't get, what does that really say? To your point, yeah, the defense, and I started with this before you guys got here. I'm not thrilled by the defensive performance. I use the line, they need to go into the backyard of TCO performance and start playing 500 with the defensive backs and figure out a way to not get boxed out, to be able to actually knock a ball down where it's just like you said, he's just throwing up lollipops. And it's just like, how does that happen where 2 or 3 times you get nailed that way? 2 or 3 times it's 3rd and 20 something and they convert for first downs. I mean, we praised them all this week about how well this defense has been turned around, and you let a backup quarterback just jump ball you like that. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, sometimes you just get beat by stupidity, and that's kind of been the Vikings mantra for the last 60 some years. Like Jake Browning just chucking the ball up like with no regard for human life, and it working. That's all you can do.
You and Jonas are a lot more kinder on the team than I viewed that game, but I'm willing to watch the replay.
I mean, they still played well.
You want to sit through that again?
No, I don't want to sit through it again, but I want an educated view on it.
Yeah, right.
And what I saw was just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for a Vikings fan. It's frustrating somebody who's played football that they seemed limited on some of what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So the Vikings should have won today.
Yes.
They were clearly the better team through most of the game. They should have won, and they didn't. We gave it up, and that happens. If you can't take care of business, you lose. They lost. And now we're going to sit there and sit at, what are we now? 7-7?
7 up. Yep.
And hope, we should still be the 6th seed because I think we have virtually all the tiebreakers except for against Tampa. But it's a frustrating game because if we would have won, we would put ourselves in position. If the Kittens would have lost later tonight, by kittens, I mean the Detroit Lions, we'd be fighting for the division next week. That didn't happen because we didn't win. It's that simple.
Well, your margin of error for the division is now gone. You got to win your last 3 games, and you got to hope Dallas beats Detroit. If that happens, you win. You can still win. You still win the division. But now it's zero margin for error from that perspective. So again, you beat Detroit, you beat Green Bay, and Dallas beats Detroit. That puts the Vikings tied, and then you've got the tiebreaker because you swept them.
Yeah, also,
but it shouldn't have come down to that. It shouldn't come down to that.
Yeah, also, I'm not convinced the Lions are going to beat Denver today. The Broncos have won, I think, 6 of the last 7, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm not convinced the Lions are going to beat them. But anyway, there are 2 things for me I want to say. And yes, I know it's going to sound like I'm very nice on the team today. But first thing, this offense looked like an NFL offense again, and it didn't for the last 3 games. And that's the reason Nick Mullens is playing and not Joshua Dobbs, because yes, Nick Mullens also has stupid turnovers. We saw it today, but Joshua Dobbs wasn't able to execute easy NFL play calls on schedule. He was just doing some chaos, improvising stuff. He wasn't able to. It didn't matter what Kevin O'Connell called on the original play call. He because Joshua Dobbs was doing what he wanted anyway. He was just doing something and not the thing he was supposed to do. And I think it was on Locked On Vikings this week where some of those plays were broken down, and it was really some very simple concepts that as an NFL QB you have to be able to read. And Nick Mullens can do that, Joshua Dobbs can't. The second thing, yes, at some point you have to pick off those lollipop balls, but on the other hand, if you get beat by those, especially if it's a guy like T. Higgins, okay, happens. It's bad they lost, but this shit is about to happen. And man, it's at some point that is a 6'4" receiver. All of our cornerbacks are relatively small. Like Caleb Evans has some size, but otherwise, yeah, but the other two cornerbacks are pretty small, and even Caleb Evans still is smaller than T. Higgins. It's going to happen, and it's bad, but at some point, some offense was going to move the ball against that defense. Like somebody, I don't remember who said it, but this streak of no touchdowns for I don't know how many quarters, it wasn't going to continue. At some point, especially if you have a halfway decent play caller, there were teams that are going to figure out how to beat the Vikings in some places on offense. It's just going to happen, and it happened today, and it sucks. It happened today, but it happened, and yeah, it is what it is. And in the end, we are still doing this with a backup QB, and for that, it looks okay. It's not great, but you're not going to have a great offense if you have a backup QB.
All true points. It's still like first drive, great. Second drive, 3-and-out punt. Okay, then the interception, and you're like, here we go. We had opportunity. The biggest flaw, for whatever the reason, I'm not here to point fingers about this at this point, but the biggest flaw is that they have had many opportunities to step on a team's throat, put them out of their misery, and not leave yourself in position to have your defense giving up 3rd and 22, to be in overtime and not getting a 3rd and 4th and short. You score a touchdown, you get an interception, and you end up settling for a field goal. Now, is that the worst thing in the world? No, but it's another missed opportunity. And when these missed opportunities start to compile, not only over a game, but over a season, missed opportunities against Tampa, against the Chargers, against the Bears, against the Broncos, against the Bengals, etc. That to me is, I agree with you, Jonas, that you're looking at it through the lens of through one game things happen. But over the course of this season, and yeah, to Tyler's point, this time 1 year ago, myself, a very dear friend of mine, and her son and my daughter were at that Colts game. And we would have left at halftime if we didn't have our 2 kids with us. But we did, and we stayed. And yeah, this is just the exact opposite of all of the luck we got last year. But part of it is I still maintain that they're not taking full advantage of opportunities in front of them. And that's what's frustrating to me.
Especially today, but again, there's a reason Nick Mullens is a backup QB, because he does stupid stuff like on those 2 interceptions.
The second one in particular was just absolutely awful.
Yeah, but that's it. If he wouldn't do stuff like that from time to time, he would probably start at some point. There's a reason he's a backup.
Mm-hmm. I have one thing to say, and then I got to go because I have a lot of stuff to do, and Odie is ready to go have some food because he hasn't eaten lunch yet. There are people calling for Kevin O'Connell's job. I'm seeing in the comments. It's trending on Twitter to fire Kevin O'Connell. Look, with all due respect, if you think firing Kevin O'Connell is the answer, you're dumb. I really don't know how else to put it. The guy is 20-11 as a head coach. He is 3-3 with backup quarterbacks and having to deal with a myriad of injuries. Had no Justin Jefferson for 7 games. Guess what his record was in those 7 games? Like I want to say it was 5-2. 5-2 without arguably the best player in football. The best player in football. And you go 5-2 without him, and you 3-3 with backup quarterback.
Without your starting quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can be mad at a couple procedural things. You can be mad at, hey, he's not a perfect head coach, which he obviously isn't. Where are you going to get a better head coach? Like, he's not even 2 years into being a head coach. He's 41 years old, and he's keeping this team competitive despite all these issues, all these injuries. And the culture is the best it's been in years because this team never gives up and they continue to fight no matter who's playing quarterback, no matter what issues that they have going forward. And you can't be like the Giants and the Cardinals and fire guys willy-nilly after 1 year or not even a year or 2 years. He deserves an opportunity to continue this. And look, does he have issues playing with a big lead? Sure. A lot of coaches have issues playing with the big lead. You know why? You don't want to get too aggressive because, hey, that pick 6 that got called back, you throw one of those, everything flips on you. So it's a complicated thing. He's going to learn it. He's going to figure it out. And when you look at everything all encompassing, if you want to fire a guy that's 2011, you have too high of expectations and you don't understand the process in which those results are happening because the process is almost always good. The execution of the play calls with backups isn't always good. And that's not 100% on the head coach. It's going to be a big topic of conversation on the Real Forno Show on Monday because I am just absolutely livid at people thinking that Kevin O'Connell should be fired. No, there's no evidence he should be fired. Absolutely none. It's driving me bonkers.
If you take any team in the league before the season and say, hey, you lose your head coach or you lose your starting quarterback at point in the season and tell them, what would you expect? And you'd say, that's done. That's it. That's why I said at the time, now we're playing on house money. And the house money has been producing pretty well. I'll grant you that. We get frustrated because we want to win. And we want to win more, better, faster, all that wonderful stuff. And when you look at it from the big picture, far away, 50,000-foot view, you see that, yes, we're playing with backups in some key positions, and they do stupid backup stuff. And that happens. Now, would I want Jaron Hall in instead of Nick Mullens? Me, Dave, yes. But will we get it? I don't know. It depends how probably next week goes.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But you're right.
Let me be clear.
There's good process, and there's a lot of good with Kevin O'Connell. And as much as everybody wants to say Flores is the guy, Flores is a great defensive coordinator. I'm not so sure how great of a head coach he'd be. People in Miami will tell you he ruined Tua for a long time. But do I want him as a defensive coordinator? Oh, hell yes. I'll back up the Briggs truck, the Wilfs Briggs truck for him. But to go and lose your starting quarterback and then lose the number one wide receiver in all of the NFL, and then other injuries bouncing across that, and to still be the 6th seed, that's something. That is something.
To be clear, when I voice my frustrations about how at times it comes across that he's outsmarting himself, and I'm also looking back at a couple of games last year in Detroit with Dalvin Cook's jump pass as one example, I'm not saying that I think he should be fired. So I know I came out hot, but I'm not saying that. I agree with you, Tyler, that firing him, no, that's not where we're at. I think there are valid criticisms, and part of it is because it's, as I said earlier, it's kind of the same thing happening quite a few times. But yes, from a 50,000-foot view, if you told any head coach, you're going to lose your starting quarterback at the midway point of the season, you're going to be 4-4 at the time, what will your expectations be? Putting aside, like you said, Tyler, losing Justin Jefferson, which, yeah, okay, that's true. But it's almost as if they would be better off not losing these games close, because then it would be easier to chuck it up to you're on your 4th starting quarterback of the season. You didn't have Justin Jefferson for, what was it, 7 games. It's almost worse that they're losing these games close when they had opportunities to not lose. And it would have been, it's kind of like the Kirk Cousins thing. Kirk said, hey, if I would have taken a sack on that 4th and 7 as opposed to throwing it short, they would have said, oh, the line gave me no time. Or if I'd thrown an interception, it would have been better than a completed pass for short of yardage. But so for me, it's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and it's all true. It's just like frustrating that, fine, lose by 14 points under those circumstances, and you chalk it up and say, hey, the circumstances are terrible. You lose by 3 when you could have won. It's a harder pill to swallow, but such is life.
First of all, obviously, I agree with that point, because I think if the season just went downhill and we would have lost like most of the games, we wouldn't be nearly as frustrated with this game than we are right now. The second thing I want to say, you just gave a perfect example for the point we made earlier about caring about the results, because last year we had like how many times that people said, oh, Kevin O'Connell is getting too cute again. You mentioned that jump pass, and he had some other play calls. Also this year, that Joshua Dobbs 3rd down run, that I think it was a QB power, or doesn't really matter. The one where he fumbled the ball. It was
a pitch from TJ Hawkinson, who took the snap in Denver.
Yeah.
I see
that. That's the thing, and when these things happen, everybody is like, "Oh, he's getting too cute again. Why doesn't he just run it up the throat, or do a QB sneak or something like that?" Now he did the QB sneak twice, which had worked every time they did it before in this game. And the Vikings just weren't able to execute it. And when your team has like less than half a yard to go and you have 2 tries at a QB sneak and you don't pick it up, it's not on the coach. It's on the team. Just go execute and win it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was the first time we had all 5 members of the team to do a super show, and it had to be on a Vikings loss. It couldn't have been a Vikings victory. No. I finally get to sit on the mic next to Darren for the first time after having watched you guys for forever. So, Darren, first of all, since we've got that out of our system, good to finally sit on the mic with you.
Same with you, Justin and Jonas as well.
Yeah,
super show and the Vikings lose.
Hey, Darren, we could have been doing a 2 old bloggers, but we had no game to preview or no storylines to get into. We should have it. When do we play next? Is it next Saturday?
No, it's next Sunday. Christmas Eve.
Sunday.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve, yeah.
Okay, so we will have a 2 old bloggers next Saturday. And we've got a lot of talk about.
Oh, it'll be, we do. It'll be picked clean by Saturday, I'm pretty sure. Some other stuff will come, though. It's the Vikings.
Yes, but for those that don't know, that don't watch 2 old bloggers regularly, 2 old bloggers is Darren and I, and we take the fact that we've been writing on this team for 2.5 decades apiece, and we take a deeper dives into usually a few topics as to why things are happening and storylines within the Vikings and how possible ways they can be fixed. And so make sure you catch us next Saturday at 4:00 in the afternoon Central Time. I'm sure there's probably NFL games next Saturday too, but we'll see. And we will get into it. I got Vikings fan 123 saying we should start Hall. Justin, you and I agree with that. Jonas, do you agree?
I probably would if I was the coach, but I get why he doesn't.
Darren?
No.
I didn't think you would.
Yeah, I think Dave, you said it somewhere this week. May have been offline or whatever, saying that the only way Hall's going to get in is if the Vikings lose the next couple of games in a row
They're
and the playoffs are
eliminated.
shot, and then they're going to throw him in there because then you want to see what you got. But I just, like when they started Dobbs last week, I just don't see them going to Hall with the 5 offensive drives he had. One which was in victory formation, and then when you're in a playoff, Chase going and doing that and turning it over to him. And really, you're looking at Mullens. Some of the bonehead decision on the one INT, and the first interception wasn't a great throw either, or a decision, because Jefferson was blanketed by 2 guys. But he threw for over 300 yards today, I think. A couple of TDs. One of them was a no, yes. But just looking the way O'Connell has handled things before, I think he's going to look at that and say there's a few bad decisions he made, but overall he made a lot of quick decisions, good throws, got the ball to JJ, got it to Addison, and our offense looked 200 times better than it did the previous 3 games. And so that's why you're going to see Nick Mullens next week and the week after, probably.
I've got that.
Unless he gets hurt.
303 yards.
Yeah, Jonas is this year. That's a distinct possibility, isn't it?
Oh.
And it's kind of ironic that the Vikings had just didn't have to worry about QB injuries when their offensive line was one of the worst in the league. Now they have one of the best offensive lines in the league, and suddenly the QBs get hurt for some reason. Because it's the Vikings. Of course they do.
Because it's the Vikings. You nailed it. With that, guys, we should wrap this up. Any last words, Jonas? Besides, because it's the Vikings?
Little rewind to last week. I opened last week's show when I got in there with the 3-0 being a soccer score. I was at a game for my favorite soccer team today in Germany over here, and guess what the score was?
3-0.
It wasn't 27-24.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The same point differential, though.
Oh, that's great. And I love seeing the tweets on that. That was good. So you got your soccer team won, but your football team lost.
Let's see what Wild and Wolves do.
Darren, any last words?
Let's see if the Vikings can actually win a home game for a change this year. They really struggled at home, and they got 2 of the next 3 at home, which doesn't inspire much confidence from me with the way they haven't been able to. But I don't think they've played like a horrendously worse. Actually, they have. I take that back. They have played worse at home than on the road. So they've got a. This is a tough gut punch loss. You got to turn the page now. You're at home. What do you do about it? And you're against a Detroit team that Dan Campbell gambling on 4th down and when you're facing that offense, which is very good, you're really facing them for 4 downs, not 3 a lot of times. So very interesting times for the Vikings. I kind of thought today, if they didn't win today, there's a good possibility we go 0-4 in this, in this stretch, and then you're hooped. And then Jaron Hall is playing in the season finale against the Lions in Detroit. But there, that's a pep talk for you.
Let me run through that wall for you now, Darren. Right after that.
Justin?
Yeah.
Have you got another show today?
I've got to talk with Rap to see if we're going to go tonight, but he usually does a Saturday night show, so I don't know if we're going to do it tonight or tomorrow. But it will be either tonight or tomorrow, and it will be at 8 o'clock Central Time, and it will be on Purple and Gold for Days. But what I can definitively tell you is Monday at 8:15 on Purple and Gold for Days, a little after you and Tyler get done with the Real Forno show, I will have my Monday night festivities, and we got a lot to talk about. We'll see what the rest of the weekend does for the Vikings' chances. It's one of those for me. If Nick Mullens plays like garbage against the Lions, I would go to Hall against the Packers. I wouldn't wait until the last game against the Lions, because at that point, again, is there a difference between Hall and Mullens? Probably, but is it enough to give up a few extra games to see what you have? In my opinion, no. But I understand that coaches and owners don't think that way. Coaches and owners play for today. They don't play for what's the best for the long-term outlook, what's the best for right now. So as frustrated as I am, I understand why it's never going to happen. Nick Mullens can throw 4 interceptions and he'd still probably be the starter against the Packers from that perspective. But
and even with the loss today, the Vikings are still in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they still can win the division, like we said. Mm-hmm. We can still win the division. Whether Detroit loses tonight against Denver or against Dallas New Year's weekend, if you win your last 3 and Detroit loses 1, which there's a very good chance that they could lose one of the other 2 against those 2 teams we talked about. Yeah, they absolutely can do it. Jonas, a couple questions in the chat here. You got a YouTube channel? And if so, let's put it in the chat, because some people said, hey, let's give Jonas a sub here.
I don't have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I mostly do my stuff on Twitter.
Okay.
But you do a podcast over in Germany.
Yeah, in Germany, but I don't know how many people on the chat who would actually be able to understand it.
I don't know. If you want to listen to Germans go off on Vikings football, put in that Jonas needs to put in the link to the podcast in the remarks, and you can hear Germans talking, and we know that's
Wow,
this is
really
that bad.
It would be interesting to listen to as a background. I may have to get a clip for that when you guys are pissed off and doing that, just to have it as background and make a great opening one day. Please, Jonas, give me that, because I think it'd be hilarious.
Absolutely. And guys, hit the like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in, if you could, please, to support the channel.
Yes. And like I said, Vikings first and SKOL. Monday, we will have the Real Forno show with Tyler Fornes telling us how good the process is. I will be there, probably drinking my bourbon in the background and maybe commenting back and forth. But if you missed it, we had our first SKOL search of the season, where we looked at 2 players. We had Connor Rogers of NBC Sports on. You can find it on video, and you can also find it on a podcast. We had 2 players we're looking at, LSU wide receiver and a Florida State edge rusher, because edge rusher is probably high on our list. And you can get the initial impressions off of that, plus Connor Rogers, which I'm going to put out a written piece on, talked about a quarterback that might be perfect for your Minnesota Vikings next year. But you got to check it out, and the written piece on that will be found, probably I'll publish it tomorrow so you can see it. But anyways, you all rock, and I want to tell you that.
That comment, we don't. I don't know why.
I don't hate Scandinavia. Not at all.
I actually like them. They have a nice attitude, most of them.
Most of them. Anyways, what do we say, gentlemen?
Not all at once, everybody. Left to right, Jonas, go.
SKOL Vikings.
SKOL Vikings.
I can't point. SKOL to the next episode. If the elevator brings you down, punch a higher floor. Go crazy.
SKOL Vikings. And thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And share this episode with your friends and even your enemies. We'd love it. Thanks for watching Vikings First and SKOL. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network, and we appreciate each and every one of you. SKOL.